Good day, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another episode. I am your host, Kilian Weeks, here on YouTube. Welcome. So today what we have queued up is a video by a fellow YouTube creator by the name of Ruslan. And he's definitely a leader, for sure. He has a bit of a following. Now, in terms of this video that we're about to react to, so I'm going to react to a reaction video that Mr. Ruslan prepared off of the Antarctica visit that a few of our friends made to investigate further about the sun, what the sun does in the place called, quote-unquote, Antarctica. Now, I'm not attacking this video without just cause, let's say. I left a comment 3 days ago, allowed the time to elapse for a response on his part. So seems as though the comment got ignored or maybe looked over. I'm not entirely sure. But for clarity and transparency, I will read my comment. It states, "It is really unfortunate that you guys sit there and make fun of or make light of, snicker, facepalm at those who believe in the creation. You, unfortunately, believe in a globe. This is a satanic lie. Ruslan, I would love to sit down and have a discussion with you about your beliefs in this spheroid they claim." So there was no response posted, nor even a like. So I figure I'll take matters into my own hands and just react to his reaction. So the first thing I'm going to react to right off the rip is this opening frame. He does a great job of setting up the quote-unquote, again, experiment that was that went on in the Antarctica. And I say quote-unquote experiment because at the end of the day, you can't really experiment on the sky, right? You can observe it. You can, you can observe the sky. You can't test anything in the sky, and we'll leave it at that. And that's where I believe the difference between an experiment versus an observation separates, right? Anyways, without further ado, here's the video.
A pastor put together a thing called the final experiment and was able to take some flat earthers with him to Antarctica to see the 24-hour sun. So remember, Candace Owens has been agnostic on if she's a flat earther or a globe earther, right? So she sent her director there, which is amazing.
Swinging around seeing the sun, what does it mean? You have to figure it out. To me, it means that the AE map no longer works.
We were wrong if something doesn't just pop out of the blue and all of a sudden the sun sets or something.
The frustrating part about this is that
Ruslan.
the flat earth community is currently having a few issues. So this is what they would refer to as a map of the flat earth. They don't exactly know, but this is a model, working model. And what you'll notice is the outer crest of this map is on a globe map would be Antarctica. But they think that you can't go there to Antarctica. Not only do they think you can't go there, but they also don't believe in a full midnight sun day, right? Which can only happen in Antarctica during this time of the year.
Yep.
And so a pastor put together a thing called the final experiment and was able to take some flat earthers with him to to Antarctica to see the 24-hour sun.
That's crazy.
What this means is if this 24-hour sun is true, this can't exist in their model because of the map we just looked at. You can't get a 24-hour sun in this model.
Because it would be setting on either side of this,
Yes.
of these. Whereas if you're actually in Antarctica on a globe Earth, then Antarctica's at the top. Where's the bottom? One of those two. And then so when the Earth spins, it's continuously getting sun.
Yes. Yeah. So
Let's talk about that for a hot second. Just the idea of this, right? And this, and this. How do you have level everywhere when you have this, right? You got this ball, yet we on the plane, literally on the surface, we measure and observe the principle of level.
So this doesn't work. So what he did is he got, and by the way, when I had, and all props, and I don't want to pick a fight with him because I genuinely like him. When I had Thug Nasty from the UFC, who just, by the way, had a nasty win. Bryce Hall just had a nasty win. Yeah, props to him. He had a major win. What I asked him is, if you can go to Antarctica and explore Antarctica, would that disprove your position? And he was like, well, I need to take guns and a bunch of stuff with me to Antarctica and bring my buddies. And, well, some flat earthers went to Antarctica and discovered the reality of this. And by the way, Candace Owens was involved in this. They were streaming this 24-hour sun on her Rumble account.
Really?
Her producers in this video. So we're gonna look at all this sort of stuff. So anyway, this is Jaron Campanella, a prominent flat Earth advocate, spent $35,000. I don't think he spent $35,000. I think someone spent.
Yeah.
They paid for him to go to Antarctica with the aim of proving the Earth is flat by showing there is no 24-hour sun. However, upon observing the sun's continuous rotation around the horizon, he admitted that the Earth is round. Did he admit that? We're going to see. We'll let you guys decide. This event has led to widespread discussion online with reactions ranging from amusement to suggestions that such trips could serve as educational experiences for flat Earth believers. Despite this, some continue to hold on to flat Earth beliefs, highlighting the persistence of such theories. I remember Alex Jones offered to fly some folks out to space, some flat earthers out to space, and Alex Jones, like, you know,
That's crazy.
And so
That's actually crazy.
yeah, so let's go to the actual YouTube, and we want to give this brother all the props in the world. Again, this is a pastor who put this together, and this opens with him just kind of showing the sun, showing that, and by the way, we'll tell you the conspiracy theories that followed immediately after, which there were plenty.
I have a time lapse of the sun.
Yeah, all this stuff is on the Final Experiment YouTube page. Let's just play.
Okay.
I want to play the actual clip. So this is Candace Owens' producer here that I want to go to. So I think the first person that comes up. And by the way, it's so bright in Antarctica. I think that's one of the reasons why they have to have all of these glasses. Go ahead and play this.
Okay. I'm Mark Herman. I'm Candace Owens' director. I'm very, very thankful to be here.
So remember, Candace Owens has been agnostic on if she's a flat earther or a globe earther, right? So she sent her director there, which is amazing.
But that's okay. Very thankful to be here. This is an incredible place, and these are all incredible people. Who would have thought that two groups of four people who are so opposed in belief and ideology to the point where there's ridicule and there's shame, there's all kinds of horrible things. But when they come together, especially in this environment, I've seen so much camaraderie and teamwork between people, and I think that's a huge thing that has really moved me, and I'm very thankful.
He just called all of them fake.
I don't know if they call them fake.
He's
but
like Twitter fingers turned to Twitter fingers.
I think it's good that they all came together. All right, so now let's fast forward. And he just it doesn't sound like
I don't think he had any strong views.
Yeah, I don't think he's a flat earther. All right, so I think this next gentleman? No, the guy after him. This is the flat earther that comes on right around there. Yep. So pull it back a little bit. Go ahead, play this.
Flat Earth YouTube channel. Well, no, Jared, Earthers, who would like to go first? It's all the 100 lot. Thank you.
There we go. And real quick. This is a live streaming in Antarctica through Starlink.
Dude, shout out
So
Elon.
shout out to Elon. So they had to bring Starlink there to live stream all of this, proving and interacting with the chat that this was really happening. They brought flat earthers there. This is the reaction to the flat earther that kind of went viral.
Yeah.
And there's still people in the chat and in the comments coping and saying this is all fake.
AI. Whatever.
All right.
I'll say
Well,
the
that's
conspiracy theory is right after this.
Okay.
But let's play this.
So we're up to 3,600 watching live. Thanks everybody for staying up. So that's all the Globers. So we'll now turn it over to the Flat Earthers. Who would like to go first? Lise? Jaron? All right. So obviously you all know Jaron Campanella of Jaronism, one of the most popular Flat Earth YouTube channels.
Not for long, he said.
All right, guys. Sometimes you are wrong in life. And I thought that there was no 24-hour sun. In fact, I was pretty sure of it. But I respect Will Duffy for being a stand-up guy, at least in the way that he kept saying it was true. I kept saying it wasn't. He said, you want to go, I'll take you. And brought me here, and it's a fact. The sun does circle you in the south. So what does that mean? You guys are going to have to figure that out yourself.
Now, that's the only part that I didn't like. What does that mean? You're going to have to figure out yourself.
Yeah,
We know what that means.
It's like you're going to have to figure out another.
Okay, hold up. What does that mean? I'm going to jump in and answer this. It means that the lights in the sky do their thing. The celestial bodies that were inserted into the firmament on the fourth day do their thing, right? The firmament was there on the second day, thanks to the Father created. Double check it. The sun showed up on the fourth day. The lights orbit the earth. That's all, right? The lights in the sky do their thing, round and round like a carousel.
Theory
What does
in
it
which
mean?
flat Earth still works with this, and I'll let the internet do it.
Yeah.
Listen to my beliefs or my opinion. It shouldn't matter to you. But at least you should be able to accept that the sun does exactly what these guys said as far as circles the southern continent. So that's about it. I realize that I'll be called a shill for just saying that. And you know what? If you're a shill for being honest, so be it. I honestly
You got a bad shtick when your audience is gonna eat you alive
Jeez.
for just
believe
admitting
there was no
something
24-hour
basic.
sun. I honestly now believe there is. That's
he
it.
believes there's a
You wanna call me
24-hour
a shill?
sun in Antarctica. Go ahead.
So be it. I'll live to see another day, and at least I know that I got to see it. And I just want to say thanks to Will through everything. You've been at least kind to me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the trip. If you guys want to, my whole master plan worked for getting a free trip out here, and to. But no, it's amazing.
It's the body language that kills me on this one. At the end of the day, right? It's our acceptance of the truth, the idea that the truth stands on its own. It doesn't need us to speak about it, honor it, anything. We can just look at it, figure it out, and try to digest it within ourselves and be able to repurpose it to explain it to our fellow men, or fellow man, brothers and sisters. But from a standpoint of us standing there with our arms crossed, sulking about the entire thing, bro, like, buck up. At the end of the day, there's still a level horizon behind you, blue sky and a white ground. You keep looking all around you, that's what you see. Stationary topographical plains surrounding you. You don't have to sulk about it.
I can't even tell you. Flying in was the best thing I've ever seen. So looking around, best thing I've ever seen. So how could I give him a hard time for bringing me down here? $35,000 trip. It's been incredible. It will continue to be incredible. We've got some tracking mounts swinging around, seeing the sun. What does it mean? You have to figure it out. To me, it means that the AE map no longer works. But that doesn't mean that I'm right. It means that it could work. You'll have to figure out how, because I've tried and I struggle with it. The other thing is,
this doesn't work, but you guys got to figure it out.
Yeah.
24-hour moon. If that happens, you got another thing we got to worry about. So it seems like the moon does circle here as well. So you start thinking about that as well. It doesn't mean that the AE map is over flat.
Exactly. The sun and the moon orbit the earth. The presence of them is yet to be figured out, how they work, how lights work inside of a prism, how refraction and light changing directions and all these different things work again inside of a prism. But for us to take the ground shape's claim and pervert it and adopt it just because of what the sun's doing and the moon is doing up in the sky, bro, you need to reassess how you get to your final conclusion, right? If P, then Q. If P's not the case, you can't get to Q. You gotta have P in order to get to Q. I believe that would be a modus ponens.
Earth is over. Maybe somebody's got the answer. I don't have that answer right now. So just want to say thanks again. Appreciate it. Yep.
Yeah. So pretty brutal, because this dude's entire
post-fight interview, dog.
Yeah, entire thing is coming apart,
Because it's more than just flat Earth. It's the worldview that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that like there's a cabal and everyone is lying to you and against you.
But you don't have to jump to that horrible conclusion, right? Like, you could back it up, just pump the brakes, realize that we exist level everywhere. Sorry, I'm getting a little carried away with my reaction to this, but I mean, bro, what a horrible place to run to. There's a cabal. Oh my gosh.
And they are actually, if this is like a faith-based flat Earth, that they are actually in cahoots with the
Satan agenda and NASA. They got maybe he got.
Yeah, and the beasts, the end times, and it's like the government is in cahoots, and they actually already know about another realm, and so it almost that worldview almost creates a certainty about the eternal, and so it's like, oh well, the Earth is flat, they're lying to us, and the government knows that there's a spiritual realm, and they're lying to us, and so this requires like, oh, maybe we're all actually just trying to figure out where we came from, and that there is a level of faith required to believe that that God exists.
Shout out to Jonathan P in the chat, and I could testify to this firsthand. They blame the Jays most of the time.
Domestic investors
my.
are experiencing
Looking for clarity on where to invest?
I don't have premium. Feel free
Then
to
it's
donate
time
to
to
the
partner
channel
with
so I
Sun
can
Life.
afford premium.
As Canada's largest asset.
That's where this all goes back to. Usually most
Which
of
is why
these
Candace
things.
Owens is playing with the.
Okay, let's see if they bring on another flat earther, and then I'll tell you the conspiracy that came out of this one, which is pretty amazing.
All right.
Let's see what she says. This is another flat earther here.
Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Lise. It's really bright standing right here directly. But we're here in Antarctica. Like Will said, we are in an off-site camp of Union Glacier. They have been heavily accommodated.
I have to say, look at that horizon behind her. How far out you guys think that is, bro? It's far out. So far out. Blue sky as far as the eye can see.
Even from the point that we were in Punta Arenas. Shout out to all of our liaisons that were there, helping us out through everything, being able to answer questions. I am the only Spanish speaker on the trip, so it's been a pleasure actually being able to translate for everybody and having those lost in translation moments. And I think aside from just like the beautiful views, like this is absolutely breathtaking. Like it really is. There's nothing else like it. If there was ever any doubt, not that I ever have, but if there was any doubt about a creator, I mean, this would put it to rest. There's no way that we're not in a created place. I don't care what anybody says. Say it in the comments. I won't read them anyway. But yeah, no, thanks to Will, obviously, as you guys know, I'm the golden ticket winner. It was a bumpy ride in the beginning, but he really pulled through. And in between all of this, I've been able to grow. a beautiful friendship with Austin and with Jaren, and even with the globe side, like it's been awesome. Dave's been teaching me more about the optics and the camera. Critical think's been really cool. Even Toon, and him and I, as you know, had some beef, but we were able to put it to rest, because I think what matters the most is putting our egos aside. I've seen a lot of vitriol, a lot of crashing out on both sides, and it's just like, are we here for truth, or are we here to hold on to a narrative and to ego? Now, with all that being said, that's not saying like a 24-hour sun proves a globe model. There's still
Doesn't that just go against everything she just said?
Why are you being demonstrative, Ruslan? Why do you have to have an emotional reaction to something that somebody says? This is what being demonstrative is all about. Slow down, right? And realize that's exactly it. The lights in the sky do not mean anything about the ground, brother.
Wow.
Doesn't it?
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It's like ego manifests in multiple ways. It doesn't have to manifest in just the way that's like, I'm being bombastic and rude and I'm dunking on you. Like ego is the denial of fact. Or not all the time, but like ego can come out that way of like.
Ego is the denial of fact. So let me ask you this. The facts that I observe is I sit inside of my apartment and I'm about 50 feet above the ground and I have a level windowsill in front of me. That level windowsill matches the horizon perfectly. So I update my location to somewhere else and I see the same thing. So I think to myself, over a 100-mile spread, I would need to have a 1.25 mile drop. That's 6,600 feet over that distance in order for your spheroid claim to be true. You realize this? Fact is, we observe level locally everywhere we go. So in order for your globe claim to be true, you would have to then prove how we have converging plumb lines over those distances. The problem is we don't see that in real life. So the fact is, the sphere is a lie.
But it doesn't mean that's not true. It's just, I'm probably still right. Just got to figure out how.
They allowed the entire community to publicly track their flight into Antarctica. It's the most tracked flight ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Because there was like, that's crazy.
Definitely things that, are in question, like the lack of sphericity of the Earth and so many other things. But hey, we're here, we're working together. And I think the most important part is just this human experience altogether. So I give a big shout out to
go to the next person. Is there another flat earth? Did they all just kind of have the same cope?
Same cope.
So they're holding guns on the other side of this camera. This is all stage.
This is all a cope. Oh, sorry. I apologize. No, that's not what he said. He said, is this what they do? Or they have the same cope. That's what they said. What's happening right now? What is really happening right now?
No. Yeah. So, I was one of the people that said I definitely didn't think that there was a 24-hour sun. We obviously haven't actually seen the sun for 24 hours, but it is doing what they said it would do very clearly.
We haven't seen it for 24 hours yet.
Yeah.
And it is still dancing around high in the sky. So obviously we're documenting
Remember,
it.
a lot of these people didn't even think you can fly into Antarctica.
Yeah, which is already like mind-blowing to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said what I feel about this the whole time. Truth doesn't fear investigation. I think that we're truly trying to figure out the truth. Obviously, some people think that what we were told is the truth. I don't think that, but I do think that people need to be honest and humble and be like, whoa, we were wrong. If something doesn't just pop out of the blue and all of a sudden the sun sets or something, when we claim that there was no sun or 24-hour sun. So yeah, and I know a lot of people want to know what my take is in terms of how does it work and stuff. And
great beard.
I will, like a quick teaser, I've seen a physical demonstration that could show this working, but I do think that some of the data we're going to have from the trip may help to clarify if that is actually what's happening. But anyway, long story short, they kind of covered the trip. It's like incredible and beautiful. And when you fly into here, it's just like words can't even describe it, man. It is crazy, crazy beautiful. Obviously this, for people to say that we can't go here and all these people are working here, we obviously never actually claimed that people couldn't go here. We just say you can't freely and privately explore it. But I will say this.
Give the gift of every moment captured.
Commercials again.
Join Whoop for only $2.79.
Yeah, boy. Hold up.
Where we flow over it, I'd be like, you probably don't.
So again, the idea, you can have supervised trips to Antarctica. It's just as what's it just said, right? Being able to explore it freely. That's the problem that exists. Getting all the required passports and you have to have all kinds of plans in place in order to do this.
Don't want to really do that, so it looks extremely dangerous. It's beautiful but scary at the same time. And so they say, look, if you want to go somewhere, we got to survey it and make sure you're not going to fall in and die, and I get it. So yeah, obviously we did know you could go to
because it's just one big glacier continent. That's crazy.
Approved places, but more so the point of this.
See, that's a claim, right? One big giant ice continent. That's what the claim of Antarctica is. You have the North Pole, which is the frozen tundra that we know about. And then you have Antarctica, which would be the antipodal, if you will, or antipodal location, which would be this frozen Antarctica continent landmass in the South Pole, if you will.
Trip is to see if there's 24-hour sun. There clearly is. I won't go on like a big rant about what I think that means. I don't think it falsifies plain Earth. I don't think it proves a globe. I think it's a singular data point. I will make one more comment kind of as to like the meta here. I do think that we have some strong personalities that get really intense on the camera. And it has been interesting to kind of be all around each other. I think it's been relatively chill. I think it's been pretty cool. I think it's a testament to the idea that we're all just humans, and whether you know it or not, there was a creator and he made you and all of us. And so that's like this basic level that we should all understand. And when there's not all this hoorah on the internet, that kind of becomes pretty self-evident in person. I think that's cool. So
the frustrating part is that this is one of the ways you can falsify their position. Another way is to take a flight from South America to Australia, Australia to South America.
Because it's kind of short.
Because it's way shorter than it would be on their map, right? And so the explanations for that is like, once you're going here, you got to catch a certain jet stream, and the jet stream doubles the time of your flight because, again, if you put...
Jet stream. Interesting verbiage. Jet stream. If Ruslan and I actually have an opportunity to sit down and chat, I would actually like to talk to him specifically about the thing he just said, right? Because he's using a flight path claim, the jet stream within the flight path claim, in order to prop up the idea of a globe. But also, we have to realize that the jet stream itself, like, what is the jet stream? Is the jet stream not a medium-based thing? Gas? This pressure that exists up there. How do you have the pressure for said jet stream in an open system, Ruslan?
Pull up their map. You can't make that trip in the time that you can really make the trip.
Oh, I would love to show you the map that I have to talk about the flight path that you just mentioned. And again, Ruslan, anytime you want to sit down and have a chat, I'm right here. I'd love to talk with you. I realize like my little small channel is measly compared to yours. However, given the fact that you have, bless God, written all over the place, right? I would love to talk to you about scripture. I would love to find out more about how you think we can observe the earth the way we do and figure out how that created realm fits within the spheroid, especially with all the passages we have in scripture, over 200 of them, that refer to the earth as a plane.
Kind of like a
special wind current that just gets you there faster. Yeah. So
they should have paid extra for the type of plane that would fly high enough to where they can start to see the curvature.
There's no planes that go that way. It's some hundreds of thousands of feet to really.
Yeah, let's talk. The higher up you go, the further out you see. Planes fly at 35,000 feet above the surface. Myself being in 747, just last year, going down to Florida, 35,000 feet up, I only saw a level horizon in front of me. I didn't see any convexity, concavity showing up whatsoever. What's up now?
Really see the curvature. So, it's interesting. I mean, listen, I'm glad that these guys some of them definitely are humbled, but
why are the flat earthers the biggest evangelists in this video?
They are.
To be fair, we didn't watch the
yeah, and again, Will Duffy is a pastor.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that. The frustrating part about this is that they almost make it unfalsifiable, right? You give them, hey, this doesn't work on your map. This flight happens once a day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so then they come up with some other jet stream theory. Hey, 24-hour sun. Then they're trying to, you know what I mean? So there's no way to, like, the only way to falsify this would be to take all these guys, put them on a spaceship and through SpaceX and shoot them out into space.
You think that would work?
And no, because they'll have another theory.
They'll say that they were shot into a simulation.
I don't know.
Like a little.
Yeah, I don't know what the theory would be.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there because I want to keep it time conscious. I don't want to spend a lot more time listening to them reacting their post comments. But from a standpoint of what's on the table being spoken about, what happened in Antarctica, the observation of the sun. Again, these are lights in the sky that go around just like a carousel in a clockwise manner. Sun leads the charge, moon behind it. At some point in time, the moon catches up to the sun, passes it. That's called an eclipse. But from a standpoint of us living on an actual ball, brother, direct evidence, consistent, that's testable, repeatable, demonstrable, is locally level observations. No matter how high up we go, we consistently see that. So from that standpoint, the globe yet to be verified, yet to be in fact observed. If you have something that we can talk about as substance, Ruslan, I would absolutely love to sit down and have a conversation with you about this, because I think it's important, especially when you have, again, bless God written all over the place. Please, brother, take an opportunity to understand the firmament, understand what was brought in on the third day, being the land, and understand that the sun showed up on the fourth day, and they're nothing more than lights in the sky, one to govern over the day, one to govern over the night. I wish y'all peace, blessings, and love, brothers and sisters. Love you. And again, as they say on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, baby. Let's get it.